Welcome to the channel, everyone. I'm Skratch. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. In today's video, guys, we're gonna do a proper guide on the brand new dungeon, the event dungeon, where Odin is the boss. I am currently on the test server because I want to show you 5, 6, 7 different teams that can get the job done. Plus, there's so many different variations out there and some crazy teams that just absolutely melt the boss, but we don't have access to that at the moment anyway. The main idea is, guys, I want to help you understand what you need to do in the dungeon. Not just copy-paste the team, and maybe you don't even have the champions to copy-paste most of the teams that you are seeing. So it's just basically what you should use in order to get the job done. We're going to go on stage 20 with a very simple team. We're going to go on stage 30 with multiple teams. So if you enjoy the content, smash a like, subscribe to the channel. It really helps a lot. Let me start directly with stage 20. And no, we are not using this team on stage 20. On stage 20, we're going to go with this team right here. Basically, what you need, guys, is one enemy max HP. Preferably a champion that can put block buffs, because that can save you. Now, in this situation right here, they're not really going to buff that much, so it's not such a massive deal. The boss, of course, he will buff with block damage and spread it to the rest. So if you can avoid that, will be amazing. Ugo, super powerful champion for the Hydra clan boss, super powerful champion for this dungeon. Regardless if I'm talking about stage 1, stage 30 or stage 1000, Ugo is still the GOAT. A lot of people were like, not everybody has Lydia Skratch. How can we do teams without Lydia? Use Ugo, use Stag Knight, use different champions that can put defense down, and preferably block buffs. Defense down is not as important unless you are using a similar team like this. Raw damage like Phoenix, Royal Guard, enemy max HP. Coldheart could be good as well, but I'm pretty sure that she will target the Heartseeker into a dumb wave champion, so that's not gonna be good. This is just to kind of like give you an example. All these champions can be changed, and you can make something completely different based on whatever champions you have available. No Phoenix, that's fine. Just bring in a Mordecai or a champion that will put HP burn. And bang, you're gonna get the job done, because HP burn deals a lot of damage versus these bosses. So this is just a simple example, guys. You don't need to stress about legendaries and all that stuff. Now, the main issue that a lot of you guys will encounter with this dungeon, especially on stage 30, you need 500 plus accuracy. You need 270 plus speed, right? So it's pretty challenging if you cannot reach these stats. So then just go on a lower stage, you know, whatever you can farm. The most annoying thing is that each one of these stages will bring you like different ads, okay? So these waves right here are super annoying. If you have Armans is absolutely insane in here, guys. But first, I want to show you my secret weapon, okay? So a lot of people were commenting, Skratch, have you tried Jingwon just yet? No, I haven't, but I'm doing it now. So Jingwon, guys, has a very funky passive, okay? Let me just quickly show it to you. So if you are checking the passive, this champion is immune to all that, which doesn't really matter. At the end of each enemy or ally turn, removes all stun, okay? That's what we care about. Removes all of the stun, debuffs from all allies, and places a block debuffs buff on one turn. So basically, insta-cleanse. Now, there is a bit of a catch on stage 30 with a provoke that can mess it up a little bit, but it's not such a big deal. On top of it, he will bring these debuffs as well, decrease accuracy, decrease crit damage, and he will bring block active skills and block buffs. Now, I have no accuracy on my Jingwon. As you may notice, he has a trash build. He's just built on a bolster set, and that's it. No speed, no nothing. If you don't have a different block buff champion, you can use Jingwon if you have him by any chance. So let me just quickly show you how it works with Jingwon. We're gonna let them do their own shenanigans in here. We're gonna have Newt doing some damage. Kaima resetting, which is fine, not a problem. They're taking their turns. And the boss will stun us. Jingwon will get rid of that. Our champions won't lose a turn. They will actually keep on moving forward. So we're gonna deal more damage like this. And this is a fast team. Funny enough. Would you expect Jingwon to be part of an endgame dungeon? Probably not, but here it is. Seems like it works pretty well. The best time I've got with this was actually 26 seconds. And that was, of course, without anyone getting the counterattack to delay the animations. But this right here is another team that works on stage 30. As I mentioned, you do need to have the speeds, guys. You need the speeds, you need the accuracy. Without that, unfortunately, it's nothing that us as content creators can do, because we are not inputting these requirements in the dungeons, okay? This is Plarium setting the level. So if you cannot beat this, you can go on lower stages without a problem. You know, you don't need to focus straight on stage 30. Your account just might not be ready for a stage 30, especially if you cannot reach 500 accuracy. You're clearly not ready, you know, because that means that you're well behind the actual end game, because nowadays pretty much all of the bosses require 500 accuracy or so, you know. But what I quickly want to explain you guys, because if you are trying to go for stage 26 upwards, you don't want to bring a lot of buffs. Buffs will drop your thermometer, will drop your speed, and will mess up your entire tune, okay? And that will make the enemies overlap you over and over and over again, and they will die. Your champions will die, and that will be a problem. If you're paying attention to any of the teams with Arbiter and stuff like this, if you bring Arbiter and Lydia, they are horrendous. They're super painful to run. Yes, you can bring in Seer. Seer still needs 500 accuracy to remove the buffs from the enemies. It's not like Seer is gonna remove all of the buffs without accuracy, because she needs accuracy, okay? So that's still very important if you're running a team with Seer. You probably know that. But the main idea is block buffs, remove buffs, decrease the duration of buffs is massive in here, okay? Defense down is not as important, only if you're running enemy max HP hitters or raw damage dealers. If you're running, for example, let's just say HP burn with Artak, you don't need defense down, because it's not really going to do anything for you. Will barely increase your damage a little bit. Now, cleansers are important, and they will probably bring some buffs next to it. The main idea is you don't want to stay crowd controlled all the time. You don't want to have the Berserker debuff on either. That stun is annoying. Defense down, weaken, whatever else they're landing is annoying. Block active skills is annoying. So having cleansers or block debuffs is very, very important. Block debuffs is not as good because the boss will remove all of your buffs, right? So that is another problem. You cannot decrease the thermometer of the boss. So I'm going to show you a few different variations, guys, on what teams can work and what teams cannot work in here. So let's just take it as an example, my team. I'm running this team. This is my spider team. Theodore, Artak, and Gizmak. Straightforward. I'm basically melting the entire stage right here like I would do it in the spider dungeon. And I have a reset. It's exactly the same concept like in the spider dungeon. Block buffs because we need it, unlike in the spider dungeon. Artak, Theodore, Gizmak, and slowly we're just draining the HP because of the HP burn, you know. So even though we lost Artak right there, not a problem. Gizmak taking a turn. 25 seconds. This is the team that I'm running on my main account as well. Exactly the same thing, nothing different. And this works very, very well. It's a spider team, but it works in here too, you know. So as an example, you can definitely run something like this. If you don't have a Gizmak, the best champion after is probably bringing in somebody that can put HP burn without getting resisted. Is definitely helpful, but it's not mandatory. So you have a few different options. That will be slightly slower because Gizmak puts the HP burn with the passive, so it's a bit different, you know. But you can just replace Gizmak with another HP burn champion. Cisia Flame Tongue. You can use Ignatius. You can use the other one from the Night Revenant. I literally forgot his name right now, which was a fusion. Drang, right? That's a pretty good example. Now, if I'm gonna show you something completely different, I'm still using Wukong in many teams, guys. Free champion, right? So that's why I'm trying to use as many free champions as possible to kind of like give you guys ideas on what to run. Armans was a fusion. He was not a free champion or anything like that, but he is absolutely busted in here, okay? Like, literally busted. Just check this out. Now, what I could do in this team, as an example, I can drop the Monkey King and bring in a Ugo instead. So let's just do that. Let's just drop the Monkey King from here and bring in Ugo, because why not? And check it out. Armans is absolutely busted, okay? As long as he is alive and nothing like that happens, they will never take a turn. Now, here was a bit unfortunate because that third volt got resisted, funny enough, even though Armans has plenty of accuracy. Well, we returned the favor. We got resisted on Mitrala. You cannot resist, okay? I forgot to mention it. A lot of people think that building resistance is the key. You cannot. If you check the skills of the faction unity for the barbarians, which is this guy on the right here, Gregor, you're going to understand that resistance is useless versus this stage. You probably need, I don't know, 1,000 plus resistance on your champions to get this done. And let's be honest, that's not going to happen, okay? That's not going to happen. And look at that. They never moved. The ads never took a turn. And that's so nasty, guys. It's not a super fast team or anything like that. You see, he tried to polymorph the boss. The guts on Armans, right? So once that block damage expires, it's pretty much job done. Or we might be able to remove it with Marius. Damn, our Mitrola got resisted 3 times. Unbelievable. But Gregor is dead right now, so his passive doesn't proc. That's why. But there you go. 1 minute and 17 seconds. Armans in control, guys. Marius, Artak, Ugo, and Mitrala. If you don't have Marius, use a Newt. If you don't have a Newt, maybe you have an Acrisia. If you don't have an Acrisia, maybe you're going to have to look for some different types of damage dealers. Maybe you have an Otorian. He's a very solid champion, Otorian Wallmaster. If not, probably enemy max HP might not be your best choice. You can use a Royal Guard. It's only 1 hit, so it's going to be way more painful to get the job done. If we're going to have a look at a different team, let's see what else I have in store right here. I've already showed you that team. So to use the other teams, I need to adjust a bit the speeds, guys. I need to up the speed on Newt to make sure that he's going first before Marius. Marius is at 280 speed. Then I need Kaimar slightly faster than he is right now. Not by a lot, but by a little bit. So let's see. This is going to give him too much speed. This is not enough. Okay, there we go. I think this was the one. Yeah, going straight after him. So this will be for this team right here. Marius, Newt, and we're going to do a variation with Acrisia. If you have multiple Newts, you probably already realized how simple it is to do it, right? Very straightforward, super easy with that. But if you don't have that, it's going to be a completely different story. So there we go. We dropped 50% of the HP on the boss. We're going to have Kaimar reset once the stun expires. Okay. If we land a freeze, unfortunately right here that we have a third volt with counterattack. That's actually pretty annoying that it happened. Stuff like that will happen every now and then. It's not much that we can do about it. 3% chance, RNG, etc. So even though Marius died, it's not a problem because we have HP burn from Venus. We have Newt doing in some more damage. And this is actually a nice piece. Now, if I'm going to bring in the team with Acrisia, maybe you don't have Marius just yet. Maybe you're stuck on the missions or something. You can use it with Acrisia as well. And it's pretty much the same cup of tea. Let me just make sure that the speeds are in order, hopefully. Same concept. Block buffs is going to be massive. You have, of course, Newt going in. You have Acrisia. We killed Ursaga, which is nice. Kaimar drops the reset. And from here on, we're going to get a stun. And once that goes, our champions will take their turn again by using their main skills. You know, we lost Newt right here. Usually he attacks the Monkey King, but this time around seems like it preferred to attack. For whatever reason Newt. He doesn't have lower HP, so that's a bit strange. Either way, 35 seconds. Even if 1 or 2 champions will die, guys, it's pretty much the same thing. These are teams with reset. Okay, these are teams that will make it faster. I just wanted to show you different variations, different concepts. Enemy max HP still the GOAT. If you don't have Siegfried to do it in 2 seconds with super OP teams, you know. As you guys probably noticed, right here, everything works confirmed to plan, basically, more or less. Because we lost the Monkey King, which is fine. Right here we go with Newt. And 27 seconds, much faster. I'm not even sure why he actually went to kill Newt before. But these are a few teams that you can use, guys. And it's all about looking at the champions that you have available and understand what you need to bring in here, okay? That's pretty much the concept. Now, as I mentioned before, I am not setting the requirements for accuracy and speed. I'm sorry. If you cannot reach 500 accuracy, I'm really sorry, but it's nothing that I can do about it. That's what you need. Now, you can try and play it around with an increased accuracy champion. The problem is that who are you going to drop out of here to bring in an increased accuracy champion, you know? The slots are so tight, and you basically need to bring most of the things to kind of like make it work. And when you buff with increased accuracy, is a problem. The boss will remove the increased accuracy. Maybe your champions will try to use their skills when you don't have the increased accuracy on, and they're going to get resisted. So that's why increased accuracy as a buff is not going to be very effective in here, you know? Let me just quickly show you some of the builds. Honestly, it's just trying to build your champions as good as possible. She does have a pretty nasty build, Acrisia, but let's start with something else first. So this is Fennex. I'm not gonna read the total stats. Feel free to pause the video, take screenshots if you want to. I'm gonna do the same for masteries. I'm just gonna put them on the screen, and you guys can actually have a look what they have. In terms of blessings, you can see as well what they have, because there are quite a few champions to go through, and I don't want to make the video longer than it already is, you know. I don't know if I use Ninja or no, but this is what we have right here on him. And these are his masteries. Then Gothica Raniri, she's slow, as you guys can probably notice, but she is on a regen set. Masteries, you definitely don't need her as tanky for stage 20, to be honest with you guys. It's just the build that I had on her. I haven't changed anything. I just chuck her in there just to show you that it works on stage 20. Royal Guard, he's on Savage. Preferably one Savage so you can kill the waves as well, but these are his total stats. Nothing insane on him, and he works on stage 20 just fine. These are the masteries. And the good thing is, on stage 20, you don't have crazy requirements on accuracy and speed, you know. Jing Won, no masteries, just a bolster set. Probably he's booked, okay? These are the stats. You definitely want to build him with accuracy if you want to put the block buffs, you know. It makes sense because he's a very useful champion for this dungeon. Funny enough, he's actually really useful for this. Theodore, just the spider build that I have on. I just had to increase the accuracy a bit on him. You do need quite a bit of accuracy, and that's mainly if you want to land debuffs. Probably you don't need to, but in case if you want to. Masteries. These are the masteries on him. Gizmak, I just had to make him faster as well, just to ensure that he is basically getting the job done. But this is more of an arena build, guys, so don't stress about it. You don't need to deal raw damage. You need 0 crit damage, 0 crit rate. You don't need any of that on this strat, because you're basically just activating HP burn. You're never even gonna move to the next stage. You're not gonna metamorph. The kaboom from the second phase does nothing, basically, you know. Masteries. Then we have Ugo. I actually had to break the Affinity Breaker set to get enough accuracy on her and speed. So I gave her some perception, speed gear. That's what we have on 490 accuracy. I would definitely like a bit more, to be honest, just to be safe. These are the masteries on her. Then we have Artak. Damn, so many champions. Again, it's the accuracy that is the issue for a lot of you guys. But if you're struggling with that, don't go to stage 30. You shouldn't even look at stage 30 if you cannot get 500 accuracy. So definitely look at the lower stages. Stage 25 is pretty annoying as well, to be honest. But you're gonna have to basically try and see what you can beat. Unfortunately, I don't have a chart to see all of the stats for all of the stages in terms of speed and accuracy requirements. I would definitely love to show you that. Armans, just build him with speed and accuracy. Nothing else really matters on him. Mitrala, bolster, and perception. These are the total stats right here. You just want to get an accuracy, basically 500 plus. She's not even that fast, honestly, because she's gonna cleanse after the boss. She's gonna get stunned as well, you know, so it doesn't really matter, to be honest. These are the masteries. Then we have Marius. These are his totals. He definitely needs a bit of extra accuracy, though. More accuracy would be nice. With the lead, is almost there. Actually, he doesn't, because he buffs his own increased accuracy, so he doesn't. That's why I forgot that. That's why I don't have high accuracy on him. But these are his total stats. I would love more crit damage. I do have a bit of a overkill on crit rate because I had to reach the speeds, you know. So I still wanted to keep the little set on. These are the masteries. Most of the damage dealers, they have Helm Smasher. Kaimar on a bolster set. I just basically went over 275 speed just to ensure that he will get to move. Masteries and stuff doesn't really matter on him, honestly, because he's just there to reset. You can use a Yumeko instead if you want. You can use a Krixia if you want. You can use as well a Renegade if you want, but I feel like Renegade needs to reset before the stun, and it will be slower, but you definitely can use a Renegade as well. Venus, just fast. Speed sets, perception, speed and accuracy. These are the masteries. Newt, savage, perception. I don't have the accuracy that I need on him. This is just the regular accuracy that I have on for the Fire Knight. I had to boost a bit his speed, so I lost some defense and crit damage for this dungeon, which is fine. I cannot really use him like this in the Fire Knight because he's too fast. But that's what I have on him. And masteries, Giant Slayer on him as tier 6 because he hits the cap anyway. And I have Soul Reap that can help every now and then. The Monkey King, speed, accuracy. I do have some damage built on him as well, but he doesn't really get to move much, you know. So he puts block buffs, dies, revives, dies, revives, dies. Maybe he's gonna put block buffs again. That's the story of his life. These are the masteries. And Acrisia, as I mentioned, she is a bit more on steroids because I still use her actually on the Sand Devil's Necropolis, and it's the old build where I needed to have a lot of crit damage to hit a cap, and now it's not the case anymore. It's much easier to do that. So even though I have a bit of an overkill on crit rate, it's mainly because I had to drop 30 crit damage to increase the speed, you know. So usually she's at 350 crit damage, and those were the stats. And masteries, we have War Master on her actually just for that extra damage. But these are some champions that you can use in, guys. You can use Stag Knight. If you don't have Ugo, use Stag Knight. Defense down, decrease attack is very, very helpful. Magnar can be, again, a pretty decent damage dealer in terms of raw damage, you know. You have tons of different options, but as I mentioned, do not bother with resistance, okay? This will absolutely demolish whatever you might think you know about it. Allies ignore 50% of target's resistance, okay? So you need 1,300 resistance, and even like that, you might not actually resist, okay? So keep that in mind. Don't play this with resistance because it's useless from stage 26 up to stage 30. That was all for this video, guys. As usual, much love. Appreciate all of you guys watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.